Over 50% of grade 4 learners in South Africa do not read and write in their native language. I mean, there is a shortage of books written in African languages. Now, Ambani is an app developed to help kids learn different African languages by making animals come to life through augmented reality. I mean, we are now joined by the founder, Mukundi Lambani, to share more on this platform created for edutainment. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Sims. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Now, this is absolutely astonishing. I mean, I'm really intrigued by this app. It's something that is long overdue, and it's something that we need as a society. What really inspired this idea?
Definitely. I think it was also my own need. So I really wanted an accessible way to be able to learn my own language. And I actually found that there aren't a lot of resources to do this. And in speaking to sort of my colleagues and my friends who have young children, they experience the same problem. So I really felt that it was something that needed to be solved. And I realized that technology could really help us in doing this.
Yeah. And how does it work? I understand that you first need to buy the cards and then download the app. I mean, how do parents navigate through this?
Exactly. So how it works is that you buy a set of learning cards, and then once you have the learning cards, you download the free app. So it's available on the Google Play Store, it's available on the Apple App Store. And once you have the cards, you open the app, and then you'll see that the cards themselves come to life inside the app in 3D. So you're able to purchase you're able to purchase the cards rather from our website, which is ambaniafrica.com. And then the app is freely available on those sites.
So which group does this app cater for? Is it user-friendly for all age groups, as it were?
So it's for age groups from 3 years old upwards, but we've seen even younger really, really enjoy it. And we've seen much older completely enjoy the app. So I think it's for both parents and children. And that's the exciting thing about augmented reality, is that it's exciting really for anyone.
And I understand that these flashcards are currently in 4 languages. Any plans of including other languages as well?
Definitely. I mean, on our website, we're constantly getting requests for different languages, but it's currently available in isiZulu, Setswana, Swahili, and Tshivenda.
Okay. Now, what has been the feedback from the parents? Are the parents loving it, or is it something that parents feel needs a bit of work?
I mean, the feedback has been really great. I think the biggest feedback is that we need to sort of extend the range of cards. And so we're constantly adding new themes, we're adding numbers, so all sorts of different ranges so that the kids are able to learn different things. So I think the biggest feedback has been, can we get more and more cards? And that's really what we're trying to work on.
And the little ones themselves, is it keeping them busy? Is it something that is more interesting to, just lay their hands on?
It's definitely more interesting. I mean, kids are generally playing anyway. So as soon as they're playing and learning, that always makes something a little bit more interesting for the parents and exciting for the children themselves. So it's certainly keeping them busy. They're certainly learning. We always hear that kids have their own sort of favorite cards. Sometimes it's the lion, sometimes it's like the dog because it looks like the dog they have at home. So kids really, really enjoy it, and they don't realize that while they're sort of playing with it, they're actually learning.
At the same time, Mukundi, you and I will agree that kids generally get bored so easily after using something a few times. So would you perhaps update it to give it more fresher content to ensure that the kids stay glued to it?
Definitely. So I think the great thing about augmented reality is that once you have the cards on our side, we're able to continuously update it, and you're able to get different content on the cards. So something we're definitely working on is finding ways to increase the level of difficulty. So parents are able to use the same set of cards, and just depending on sort of their children's knowledge or their children's level, they're able to decide what it is or what level of content they want from that specific card. So it's something we're working on building into our application.
Does it come with any sound effects? I mean, for those children with living with a disability?
So it actually does. So I think it's really multi-sensory in the sense that you're able to see the 3D image itself, which comes to life. You're able to hear it. You're able to hear the sound the animal actually makes. And once you select the language in the app, then you're able to use the same set of cards to hear it in different languages. So it really covers hearing, seeing, and experiencing the content itself.
Remind us again how we download this particular app and where we can access it.
Great. So you're able to purchase the learning cards themselves from our website, which is ambaniafrica.com. And then on the Google Play Store or on the Apple App Store, the app itself is free. And you can just search Ambani Africa and you'll find our app there.
I mean, in terms of developing edutainment, what are your plans? Do you have any plans up the sleeve to develop more initiatives like this to ensure that kids are off the streets, that kids are educated and as well as entertained?
We definitely do. I mean, something we found along this journey is that there's also children who speak a home language at home. They get to school, they're taught in English. And it's very difficult to learn a new language well enough to be able to learn through it. And so you don't speak English, but you're learning things like maths and life skills in English. It's very difficult. And so we found that there's also a need to create learning content in African languages for those who speak African languages at home and need to learn all of these different concepts in their foundation phase. So we're definitely extending not only into teaching African languages, but also teaching in African languages.
You know, Mukundi, this is certainly making learning much more easier, not just for parents, but for the children themselves. Thank you so much for coming up with such a brilliant concept and brilliant idea. That will certainly change the way that we educate our children. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was Mukundi Lambani, which wants to make learning African languages fun through her app, Ambani Africa, which is available on both the iOS and Android for free.